Here's your wrestling news for November 24th, 2021. And your headlines for today include: identity of Seth Rollins attacker revealed, court date is set. Seth Rollins attacker drops a weird video after getting released from jail. Real reason why he attacked Rollins is revealed. Seth Rollins opens up about his recent Raw fan attack, details on his injury, Becky's reaction, and more. Chavo Guerrero takes shot at Seth Rollins after fan attack. Wrestling fans are unhappy. Jeff Hardy wants to feud with Edge again in WWE. Jim Ross underwent back surgery but not expected to miss AEW Dynamite. Red Notice on pace to become most watched Netflix original movie ever. Wrestler describes recent ROH TV tapings as his own funeral, and more. We are starting off today with news from WWE Raw, as on this week's edition, a fan chose to jump the barricade to attack Seth Rollins while he was walking away. Thanks to a front face lock and security, this incident was quickly resolved, and now we know more about who this fan is. ESPN's Mark Raimondi has learned that the would-be attacker is 24-year-old Elijah Spencer in a report confirmed by the NYPD. Spencer has been charged with attempted assault and attempted violation of arts and cultural affairs as he interfered with a live sporting event. Sources who spoke to TMZ revealed that Spencer won't wait long to have his day in court, as his first hearing in front of a judge is set for next month. After the tragic deaths at Astroworld, in which 9 people died, it's incredible to think Spencer was able to leap the barricade so easily, and fans can expect tighter security after this incident. So why did this attack happen in the first place? Well, we now have an answer to that question, thanks to Spencer himself. In a bizarre video released to social media, Spencer admits that it was him on TV, saying he had a personal beef with Colby Lopez, Rollins' real name, and told Vince McMahon about his real-life heat with the Raw superstar. The video starts with a message from Spencer to WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg for teaching me the best. Spencer adds, "Good morning, guys. I'm out. That was me on WWE. I was booked from Goldberg and Vince McMahon, and I jumped over the barricade because I told Vince McMahon I had personal beef with Colby Lopez, Rollins. This man did not tell Colby I was going to be there, and the personal beef is between me and Colby, and he knows what he's done. So as related to the Tribal Chief and Tribal Chief cousin, Royal 4 and Fatu Instagram, I did what I had to do." Spencer went on to say that he made his family proud and thanked WWE officials for taking me off Colby Lopez. That's a strange line given that Rollins very much had Spencer restrained by the time security arrived, but that wasn't even the strangest part of the video. That would be when the 24-year-old said he did it for Rikishi, did it for The Rock, and did it for, quote, all my tribal family. Wrestling fans are all too familiar with the "I did it for The Rock" line, which Rikishi himself uttered in 2000 after running down Stone Cold Steve Austin, falsely accusing the Brahma Bull as being the one behind the attack. Spencer may truly believe that he did it for the Samoan wrestling dynasty, but the reality is somehow more odd, as the beef between him and Seth goes back years. On Twitter, user @NotChris posted several screenshots of an alleged conversation between Spencer and a fake Seth Rollins account. These screenshots were apparently pulled from a social media account belonging to Spencer, in which it reveals the attacker was scammed out of hundreds of dollars in 2019 by someone posing as the former Universal Champion. Spencer described his arrangement with who he thought was Seth Rollins as a business deal, and after the fake account ghosted Spencer, this began the beef between the two. Some of the messages are extremely concerning and shows just how long Spencer had been planning his attack, as after Rollins beat Dominic Mysterio last year, Spencer said, "It's payback time," encouraged Rollins to say his last prayers, and asked how Becky Lynch, who was pregnant at the time, was doing. According to the posts, the fake Rollins got Spencer's bae arrested over a fake check, which only made the 24-year-old more angry at who he thought was a genuine WWE superstar. This bizarre twist in the story is unverified, as the poster didn't provide sources for the screenshots, and we can't be sure if they're authentic. If they're true, it would explain why Spencer was angry at Rollins in the first place, and it goes to show that if one of WWE's biggest superstars, who's known for having an incredible way with words, starts messaging you asking for money with bad English, then think twice before responding. Rollins, the real Seth Rollins that is, will continue to wrestle for WWE, and although he wasn't too hurt physically during the attack, it's definitely left an impression on him. When TMZ met with Rollins at the airport to ask about the situation, the normally confident and fearless Seth admitted this was a very scary situation. "It's terrifying, brother. No serious injuries, nothing like that. I was safe, we were safe, everything was okay. Once the tackle happened, I knew what was going on. The guy was barreling around the corner." Rollins added that he hopes the 24-year-old attacker isn't allowed back at any future WWE events. Incidents like these are rare, but sadly do happen, and it's worth remembering that if a wrestler you're a fan of messages you out of the blue with an offer that seems too good to be true, then it probably is. Rollins is used to taking bumps in the ring, but this was something the former Universal Champion hadn't planned on. In his report, Mark Raimondi noted that Rollins suffered a bruised lip but was otherwise fine and refused medical treatment by WWE personnel. Not being seen to by WWE doctors implies that Rollins is doing okay, and it's fortunate that the fan didn't have a concealed weapon on him. As bad as this situation is, it could have been much worse, but the Raw superstar shouldn't have had to deal with this situation at all. Rollins may not have been too worried about this attack, but plenty of people were, including his wife, Becky Lynch. In the aftermath of the attack, fans at the Barclays Center saw the Raw Women's Champion checking on her husband from behind in a moment that obviously wasn't planned in advance. In a statement, WWE has said they will be prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law, which will hopefully deter anyone else from trying to attack a superstar. As for Lynch, this week's Raw saw her continue to feud with Liv Morgan, who's next in line for a title shot, but this story paled in importance to making sure the father of her child was okay. Rollins may be a heel on TV and one of WWE's best bad guys right now, but the wrestling world has almost universally come out in support of the former WWE champion. Not everyone has been sending Rollins positive vibes, however, as Chavo Guerrero decided now was the best time to take a shot at the Monday Night Messiah. On Twitter, Chavo responded by asking his followers to remember when wrestlers were tougher than the fans, calling it the good old days. We're baffled as to why Chavo decides now is the right time to say Seth isn't tough, especially as Rollins didn't hesitate to get physical, holding the fan down with a facelock until security intervened. Fans weren't pleased with Chavo deciding to target Rollins after this, and following a wave of fan backlash, Guerrero fired out an update saying that things got out of hand quickly after his initial comment. Chavo said that he meant no disrespect to Rollins and that he loves the business that has fed his family for 85 years, adding that Seth should have never been put in that position in the first place. Guerrero didn't exactly say sorry for his tweet, but this is the closest to an apology fans will see, and we can only hope this is the last time Rollins or any WWE superstar is put in a situation with a barricade-jumping fan. At Crown Jewel 2021, Edge ended his feud with Seth Rollins, defeating him inside Hell in a Cell, and we haven't seen the Rated R superstar in the ring since then. Since returning from a 9-year retirement nearly 2 years ago, Edge has feuded with the likes of Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton, but there's one old adversary who wants a piece of the Rated R superstar. Speaking to Sports Bible this week, Jeff Hardy revealed how he wants to have another feud with Edge, as long as their respective health conditions allow it. He said, "Actually, last month I spoke to Edge, and I think he said something. I think we gotta do it one more time." Totally. Even in the Rumble last year, I didn't last no time. I was in and out, and he won the Rumble. I had said beforehand that it would be cool if me and Edge had this face-off just for a moment because of our history. As long as he keeps his health and I keep mine, that's another big match. This potential feud has some major history, as it was Edge who beat Hardy to win his first 2 of 3 World Heavyweight titles in WWE. In recent months, Jeff's booking has infuriated fans, as they believe the charismatic enigma is above being just another face in the hunt for the 24/7 title, and if Hardy gets his way, he'll have an epic feud with his old nemesis once Edge returns to TV. AEW news now, as Jim Ross has been suffering from various health issues lately, including having treatment for skin cancer, and now the commentator can add back surgery to his list of medical problems. This back surgery won't keep Ross away from the commentary table though, as on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported that JR will be at tonight's Dynamite in Chicago, and his skin cancer radiation treatment will start next Monday. JR has remained active despite his cancer diagnosis, as he's continued his AEW duties and his podcast despite it, but now, this back surgery will be another wrench in the plans for arguably the greatest commentator to ever don a headset. Back to WWE, who promoted The Rock's new Netflix film Red Notice heavily during Survivor Series 2021, and the film is on pace to become the most watched Netflix original movie ever. So far, 277.9 million hours of the film have been viewed, according to Uproxx, the second most viewed Netflix original movie on the streaming site. It took Sandra Bullock's Bird Box 28 days to reach just over 28 million hours viewed, and with Red Notice hitting screens just 19 days ago, it's only a matter of time before The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot take home this huge achievement. And we're ending today with Ring of Honor, which will go on a hiatus at the end of next month, with a ton of the rosters set to be released from their contracts. ROH has insisted that this is a temporary break to reshape the company into a more fan-orientated product, and that they'll be back in spring 2022, but this hasn't helped morale. Speaking on the ROH Strong podcast, tag champions Matt Taven and Mike Bennett spoke about the upcoming releases, and Taven said that it felt like a funeral at the last set of tapings. Taven added that things were thankfully better the next day when the women's division lifted everyone's spirit, but said that he doesn't want to even think about the final taping on December 11th. That taping will be for Final Battle, where Bennett and Taven will defend the ROH tag titles against the Briscoes, and if ROH can't turn things around, this could be the last ROH tag title defense to ever happen.